This looks like glory moments.
Beautiful night for some football.
NASCAR Cup Series champion Scotty Scheffler takes it all. A lot of stars for you on Sunday Night Football.
This is for the city, for Detroit.
Showtime.
Relentless intent from the first whistle to the last. Everything you got, we come away with a win. Let's go.
And the game's begin.
Tonight, Sunday Night Football, everybody watching. On the sideline, he goes. Touchdown.
Speed killed.
Josh Allen, the beast, has once again been released.
I will not lose. This is my moment. You will not forget it. I master the game. I am the baddest. The world will now. My name is massive.
Throws right side. Clock takes into the end zone.
Do it again.
TJ Watt finishes off this victory.
The game's begin. It's showtime. Prime time. Let the games begin.
Let's go.
It's showtime. Let the prime time. Let the games begin.
Let's go.
It's showtime.
It is showtime. We probably had too much fun on that cue. And it's time for a playoff rematch. And even though Jared Goff and the Lions, they came up short of the Super Bowl, it's not slowing down the hype train. So all aboard in Detroit. Meanwhile, the Rams, they're led by the 16-year vet in Matthew Stafford. He is back in Detroit, hoping to return to his old stomping grounds. And it turns out a little bit better than it did in January. All right, it is time for a football night alert as we get set. The late games are still rolling. How about Zeke? 1 year off, 1 year back, and looking good in Dallas.
Oh, looking good in the old number 15 that he wore at Ohio State. Dallas completely dominating this game. Dak Prescott been phenomenal as well.
Yeah, Dallas winning 30-10 right now. About 15 seconds left in the third. Meanwhile, Jim Harbaugh in his debut looking good with the Chargers.
Yeah, who they're going to throw the ball to? Look at Ladd McConkey. Make one miss, make two miss, get in the end zone, and that Harbaugh offense is in control right now.
Yeah, actually, they got the victory 22-10. It is final. Jim Harbaugh, congratulations. Welcome to the Chargers, and that would be your first win against Antonio Pierce and the Raiders. But we still got a few games still going on. We've got Washington, Jaden Daniels making his debut. The Seahawks in control at home against the Broncos. All right, welcome everyone. Studio 3, it's our brand new home. I'm Maria Taylor, that's Devin McCourty, and Jason Garrett. He's back with us. We missed you.
Thank you, Maria. I appreciate it.
Yeah, but we're happy you're here for an NFL Sunday, and let's talk about the headlines and what we're watching. And you know, week one, sometimes you can come in a little bit slow. There were some sleepwalkers out there.
And sometimes we got to calm down, but Cincinnati, everything going on. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. They forgot you're playing against the Patriots in week one. And I know Cincy's going to say it later. I don't care about the 2021 season where they beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. That's gone. It's 2024. You can't sleepwalk and lose at home to the Patriots week one. Unacceptable.
Well, how about your guy? They're talking about tanking in New England. Gerard Mayo says, I'm not listening to that.
I told
Let's
him
go
well,
to
Jason.
Cincinnati. Let's go get a win. That's fantastic. It's a great job. Hey, how about all off season we've been talking about who's going to play quarterback in Chicago? Who's going to play quarterback in Pittsburgh? It does not matter who plays. It's all about the defense. It's all about the special teams. It always has been. It always will be. Pittsburgh goes down there. Atlanta scores 10 points.
Can you teach our other quarterback, Chris Sims, that it's about the defense?
Exactly right. Chicago gets a block punt for a touchdown, interception for a touchdown. It doesn't matter who's playing Q.
Quarterback said, I know, right? Brand new JG. Chris, do you want to talk about quarterbacks or not? Because right now your other quarterback left you hanging.
Hey, enough of that defense. You guys stay over there. Okay, we're going offense over here. You talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, who they missed today? Yeah, they missed this guy, Joe Mixon. He was amazing, rushing for over 100 yards for the Houston Texans. We know C.J. Stroud's great, but if the Houston Texans get a run game going like this with this Bobby Slovic offense, wow, the potential is limitless. Okay, yep, giddy up time. You know it. It's one of the best quarterbacks in football, Josh Allen. Bills got off to a slow start. Doesn't matter. It's a quarterback league, and this is one of the best around. He closes it out right there. Superman into the end zone. Touchdown. Bills win. Beat the Cardinals. Yeah, he ain't overrated, Devin McCourty. Wait, this guy's supposed to see ghosts when he goes to MetLife Stadium. Sam Darnold, all the bad memories from the New York Jets. Not today. He made lots of good memories against the New York Giants today. Kicking some butt. Good for you, Sammy Darnold.
It was impressive, though, because he was dominant from the very beginning of that game.
He really was. Started out the game, 11 for 12, just dicing them up right down the field. The Giants have some secondary problems.
Yeah, we'll also talk about that #1 overall pick in Caleb Williams. We will get to why they needed defense and special teams to get that victory a little bit later on in the show. But first, we got to head out to Detroit. We've got Jack, Tony, Rodney hanging out at our Applebee's. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, guys?
to Detroit. It's an easy week. You know, that's all it is. And we were here. The last time we were here was January. First playoff win in 32 years. 32 years. And it's about what that crowd sounded like back then. But now they go from the hunters to the hunted. What's different in that scenario, Hot Rod?
Well, first and foremost, you act like they won the Super Bowl. They really haven't won anything. But the biggest difference is this. When you have a great team, you know teams are going to come after you. And I just believe that they believe they have a great team, and teams are going to come after them, Coach.
Yeah, and talking to their players, their coaches, everybody said Coach Dan Campbell has been perfect. Old school, tough practices. They have not let up at all.
But they're built for this. They have a tremendous leader in Dan Campbell. He's an excellent motivator. And you think about the continuity on the offensive side of the ball. They kept their offense coordinator, Ben Johnson, so he has that relationship with Jared Goff still.
What was your mentality when you were the hunted?
I've always felt like I was always hungry because I grew up poor. I didn't grow up with anything. So even when we won, I felt like we lost, and I stayed hungry.
This is going to be the first time, too, we're going to see the Rams in a decade without Aaron Donald, their enforcer. What do we expect to see there?
Well, it's going to be a different defense. You can't replace Aaron Donald. Not only the great plays he makes, Rodney, but the presence. You know he's going to get double teamed. That frees everybody else up. They're going to have to be a little bit different on defense.
They went out and they did a really good job of getting him depth on the defensive line. They signed Jared Verse. They drafted him, Braden Fisk. So they have a lot more depth on the defensive line.
Would you rather have a 33-year-old Aaron Donald, or would you rather have all these young, cheap studs as you project toward the future?
I think Aaron Donald's the greatest defensive player that I've ever seen, but I'd rather have the younger guys because they're younger and they're a lot cheaper.
No.
Coach, you can take.
I want 40-year-old Aaron Donald if I can have it.
I got more love than anybody for Aaron Donald. You know that's my guy, but at the end of the day, we have to treat this like a business. I want those two young guys, and I want to be able to provide depth on my defensive line. Now I can take all that money that I'm saving for Aaron Donald and spend it elsewhere.
A whole lot more on this later. I like how Aaron Donald, too, he stepped out on his own terms. To your point, he maybe could have played another decade. Cooper Kupp, he is still on the field. Matthew Stafford, he's coming back to Detroit looking for different results on Sunday Night Football.
Fourth and 4. The Browns going for it. Dallas like, nah, we're getting stopped.
Yeah, Browns are down by a lot. Got to go for it on fourth down. But Dallas said, hold on. We're going to keep sending that pressure to Deshaun Watson.
Dominating the football game. Dallas in all phases.
All right, and then we keep it moving. Bo Nix trying to get something going, and finally does for Denver.
Yeah, it's been a struggle on offense. The rookie quarterbacks are showing. It ain't easy once the regular season starts, but this was a nice play by Bo Nix. A little spin move into the end zone.
Nice rushing touchdown. All right, we got a 6-point game, and that game right now is on CBS. Okay, let's get you caught up on what's been going on around the league. The Panthers taking on the Saints. Dave Canales, remember, he's got the #1 overall pick, Bryce Young, and his first attempt of the year is an interception.
Yeah, Maria, new coach, same old story for the Carolina Panthers. Did not look good. Talk about dominating in all three phases. Defense taking it away. Derek Carr was on fire. Sprints out this way. Don't tell your high school quarterback to throw back across the body. Derek Carr pulls it off. Foster Moreau finishes it.
Derek Carr was balling today. He was aggressive and throwing bombs everywhere.
Yeah, 200 passing yards, 3 touchdown passes, and Jadeveon Clowney's like, oh, Carolina, what did I do? All right, the Raiders taking on the Chargers. We got Jim Harbaugh, fresh off that national championship with Michigan. Gardner Minshew was named the starter, and Antonio Pierce in his first full season as the head coach. Let's get you to the one highlight we have for the Raiders.
Yeah, I was about to say, Raiders fan, Allen Magnuson makes his catch. But if you came here to see Raiders highlights, enjoy this one, because that's it for today.
There you go, the 31-yard touchdown. Get excited. The Raiders were up 7-3 there, but to the fourth quarter we go, and a lot going well on the ground for the Chargers.
We knew what Jim Harbaugh was going to be about the running game. Dobbins pulled off a 61-yarder that really got them going. Hard runs, and they kept it on the ground for that game.
Yeah, Dobbins had 135 yards rushing. And what do we think about the new look Harbaugh Chargers?
I think the biggest thing is tough, detailed, and Jim Harbaugh teams don't beat themselves, right? Herbert was efficient. It wasn't wowing, but running the ball and being physical is what jumped to me.
But guess what? They're going to have to play against Kansas City in that division. Playing against the Raiders where they only scored 10 points, that's cool. But that offense took a while to get going for the Chargers. I don't know if you can do that against Pat Mahomes.
But all the hires of the head coaches this offseason, this was the slam dunk for me. He's won at every level. I went to OTA practice, and I'm out on the practice field for 2 seconds. It's an operation. They know what to do. They'll have an identity. They'll be physical. They'll be tough. They'll be a Jim Harbaugh football team.
Shout out their defense, too. They stepped up today.
Yeah, next up for the Chargers, they have Carolina, so that's probably good news, too.
Right.
That's game number 2. All right, let's check in and see what's going on in Detroit. Oh, we got the selfie cam with Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Making their way into the stadium. Hey, guys. Look at that.
Dungy.
He's got his entourage with him. Dungy and Harris.
They got their security. We'll check in with the guys inside the stadium next.
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
Welcome to Applebee's. Can I interest you in America's favorite boneless wings for just 50 cents each?
I have the 50-cent bone.
Cover your mouth. They could steal your order.
I'll have the 50-cent boneless wings.
I'll have the same.
Perfect. They'll never see it coming.
He can coach anything, can he?
He can, and he is the perfect coach for the Detroit area. He's been awesome
That's
here.
a fun commercial right there.
Applebee's, they got the right guy. We're now in the stadium thanks to Applebee's, the new official grill and bar of the NFL. Talking about those Lions, though. Took off last year, but they're looking to fix some things defensively, start with the second.
Yeah, it was the defense that was holding them back. The Lions, this is the most talented secondary that I've seen them have, Coach. They finally went out and got some guys on the outside that can play that tight man-to-man coverage. That's something that they really struggled at last year, and they struggled also with a lot of blown coverages.
Yeah, they had a great year as a team, but the one weak spot was that secondary. They went out and addressed it, new players. But as you know, it's not just talent on paper. You've got to play together, get that chemistry, make the calls together. We'll see how they gel.
They go out and they get Carlton Davis, who's a veteran player. They go draft Terrion Arnold. You already have Brian Branch. This is one of the best secondaries, if not the best secondary I've seen the Lions have.
Let's check in around the division a little bit, though. We were watching this Vikings game earlier. The Vikings also with the New York Giants. The Giants jerseys, I don't know what they were doing with this. The Giants, they played as bad as their jerseys looked as well. Sam Darnold, first start for him in a Vikings uniform. Go to the second quarter. Vikings up 7-3. Fourth down. They elect to go for it.
And you can't put the best wide receiver in the NFL versus a second-year player with no inside help. You have to double-team him, Coach.
Third quarter, use Jefferson as a little decoy here.
This is
Jalen Naylor.
When you overemphasize one guy, look at Jefferson, get a man open downfield.
So there's Daniel Jones, and he was looking for answers in these new uniforms that they're trying to sport early in the season, trying to create a little bit of a spark. It's 21-6. A spark there was not. Andrew Van Ginkel to the house.
This is why Brian Flores, he loves veteran players. They're smart. They're always in the right position. This guy had an outstanding year last year with the Miami Dolphins.
The Giants fans have no idea
what to think.
Do they coach? So what worked for Minnesota, do we believe?
Well, the defense, Brian Flores had those guys ready. He went out and got some veteran players. Harrison Smith had an interception. Andrew Van Ginkel, he had a pick six. So those veteran players really made an impact, Coach.
And we might have to start calling head coach Kevin O'Connell the quarterback whisperer. He did a great job getting Sam Darnold ready to go today.
It's one game, Coach.
It's one game, but he was good today.
He was good today.
It worked out perfectly for Minnesota. They ended up going with Darnold, a guy who's been there before, as we sent it back in to Maria Taylor. She's been there before, too.
Been there before, been there, done that. Gino, he's been there, done that. Football Night alert coming your way. And ultimately, the Seahawks pulling off the victory, the game's final.
Seahawks offense took off in the second half. This one puts it away. Great throw and unbelievable catch by Tyler Lockett to close it out.
High fives all around up there in the press line. There you go. 26-20, the victory goes to Geno Smith and the Seahawks.
Bring the energy, powered by the all-electric Acura ZDX.
Diggs, touchdown number 2.
Step for step, and I'm excited to have him.
4 touchdowns from the Bills QB.
We were rolling pretty well on offense.
During the halftime, they looked at each other and said, we got this.
Tyreek Stevenson for the lead.
Football Night in America is brought to you by Applebee's, the official grill and bar sponsor of the NFL.
Just a couple of Hall of Fame running backs, huh, Jason?
Wow.
Man.
Are you kidding me? Look at those two.
Legends.
Come in all shapes and sizes,
with
don't
the
they?
goggles right there.
That's when you know it's a problem.
Oh, there he is.
Eric Dickerson.
He's hyped, too. Look at him. Oh, flex on him.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah! We just had to get him some goggles. And
Oh, there he is. Legend himself right there.
Yeah.
Man, nobody was better in the open field than that guy.
Incredible. Both were top 10 all-time in rushing yards. It's just good to see him just near the field. All right, the Cardinals taking on the Bills to open up the season. The Bills find themselves down 17-3 in this one.
This is a huge point in the football game. They are being dominated by Arizona. It's about to be sacked behind the chains. They get a roughing the quarterback penalty there with the illegal hit to the head. Yep. And the game really changed from this point on. And then we get Josh Allen scoring before the half. So they feel good going into halftime already.
Yeah, so it's 17-10 at the half, which feels a lot better than 17-3. And then the fourth quarter, the Bills are up 24-20. A little new dynamic kickoff action for them.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot. They came out in the second half, scored right away, right? Did the old New England Belichick McCourty thing. That set them up. And then Josh Allen just continued to make magic. And Devin's seen that probably a few times in his life.
He did that to me one time.
Yeah, he does it to a lot of people.
Here's your new kickoff.
Here we go. Here's the kickoff. This was the kickoff game. Really big-time return here by DJ Dallas. You're thinking, hey, time's an issue. They're down by 11. You return a kickoff for a touchdown. Uh-oh, now Arizona's got a chance to get really back into this thing.
Impressive, DJ Dallas. And then he jumps into the crowd. You see that? They had to push him.
You better watch out.
Yeah, they had to push him back down. Okay, this is the last chance for Kyler Murray, who really played great all day.
He did. He made a lot of great plays, throws. Gives his guy a chance here. It's in his breadbasket, a little contact downfield, but I like the no call. Good
Me too. No contact.
I hear you, D-guy.
Yeah, you see heavily taped is Josh Allen's hand, though, his left hand. Mike Florio, what is the latest on that?
Yeah, apparent left hand injury, although Coach Sean McDermott referred to a forearm at one point. Allen said it's fine. He'll probably get an x-ray. That's an important x-ray because he definitely has a game in Miami on Thursday night.
Yeah, it's a short week for Josh Allen, so we will see what is going to happen there, keeping up with the latest on Pro Football Talk. All right, let's talk about Miami and the Jaguars. Tyreek Hill. Remember, earlier this morning, he was detained by police outside of Hard Rock Stadium for a traffic violation, but was still good to go and play in this one. Let's go to the second half. The Jags are up 10, and this most certainly was the turning point of the game.
It absolutely was. Miami is down 10. They're going in. They're going to make it. Jacksonville's going to make it a 17-point game. Javon Holland knocks the ball out. Put that on the clinic reel for punching it out.
Seriously.
And this swung the entire game. They're going to go up 17 at this point. One play later, guess who they throw it to?
He's out of the handcuffs.
And he's going to take it 80 yards for the touchdown to cut the lead to 3.
Unreal, their big strike ability. The
Takes away angles. That's unbelievable seeing that.
And check out the celebration. Tyreek Hill said, we had something else planned, but after what happened earlier today, Jalen Waddle had to come uncuff me, okay? And that changed the game. All right, 2 minutes left. Tua, he's going to look and find Jalen Waddle. Now you're starting to work very well together.
This was a big win for Miami because they're winning different ways. You know, they're a great front-running team. They're like Showtime. This was dirty. Sanders was the difference maker. This is the game winner. Huge win for the Dolphins.
Okay, a tumultuous day for Tyreek Hill that ended on a high point. Let's hear from him after the win.
But I do want to say, I do want to be able to use this platform to say, like, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill, bro? Like, I want to be able to, you know, use this platform, you know, to figure out a way to, like, flip this and, you know, make it a positive on both ends, on my end and then also Miami-Dade, you know, so that way we can team together and, you know, do something positive for the community, because that's what it's all about, bro. I'm just glad that my teammates were there to, like, support me in that situation, because I felt alone, you know, and when they showed up, it made me realize that we got a fucking good team this year, dog, for them to, like, put their life on the line, you know what I'm saying? So it was amazing to see, man. Because I know at the end of the day, I still got a job to do. You feel me? And nobody worried about if Reek come in, you know, if he dropped 3 passes because he's still thinking about the little scenario.
It's great to hear Tyreek Hill trying to turn it into a positive, but what would be the latest, Mike Florio?
Well, the support that Tyreek Hill referred to included Calais Campbell, a former Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. He said after the game he went over to de-escalate the situation. He was handcuffed and cited for disobeying a police officer's order. As to Tyreek Hill, Miami-Dade Police Department Internal Affairs Division has begun an investigation. Agent Drew Rosenhaus told me after the game that The Internal Affairs has reached out to Tyreek Hill to speak to him. Lawyers are considering all options, including possible litigation, and one officer has already been placed on what they are calling administrative duties. Maria.
All right, pretty more news to come from that storyline. All right, let's keep it moving. The Patriots taking on the Bengals and Joe Burrow. New look, new hair. Will it pay off on the field? Not so much. Let's go straight to the second quarter.
Hits a nice pass over the middle, but Kyle Duggar, that new culture in New England, not giving up on the play, punches the ball out. A big play right on the 1 or 2 yard line.
Are you saying you didn't have this culture before?
I'm just saying they're building a new culture here. That's a part of it.
Just checking. You guys did win 7 Super Bowls.
Let's keep with the culture, though. The long snapper has the culture, too.
Too much negativity around me right now, but no negativity in Cincinnati. Right there, forcing a fumble on the punt. Hawkins picks it up. Big stop for New England.
All right, we go later into the third. We're at 4th and 2, and Cincinnati trying to get something going.
Well, this play right here looks like a good play. Looks like they're going to pick up the first down. Jonathan Jones flies out of the secondary. What a big hit right there. There you go, Mayo.
Big stick. Gerard Mayo gets his first, and he talked to Devin McCourty afterwards.
Yeah, it's special because, there's a lot of chatter on the outside, but we don't care. The coaches don't care. The players don't care. They just come to work every day and get better. And look, we'll go through the film. I'm sure there's things correct. At the same time, the mentality, the toughness, it really doesn't matter. It's the things we did during training camp when guys didn't want to, when guys were like, man, go to the hill, and they didn't want to go. It's all those things that really showed up today.
Devin, that's your guy. What else did he tell you on the FaceTime?
He got the Gatorade bath. He said it was cold, but it messed up his sneakers. He has special sneakers Nike sent him, Air Force Ones. Equipment manager, my guy Stick out in New England. Yeah. He said he'll fix them.
Got him right.
But it's still a big win for the Patriots. You talked earlier about the slow start for the Bengals, but let's spend some time talking about what New England showed us. We had questions about who was going to play quarterback, how they were going to show up, but like you said, the identity was what stood out.
The biggest question was the offensive line. Ramondre Stevenson comes out, rushes for over 100 yards. Really, that was the point for New England. We're going to run the ball, set up some play action, but Jacoby Brissett did an awesome job of getting them out of some bad situations.
Simsy has Cincinnati going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Wow.
They go to Cincinnati and they win this game. Everybody's talking about them. They're the worst team in the National Football League. Gerard Mayo had them believing they played the game the right way, and they are building something special there with his stamp on it. It's an impressive win for them.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, I have to say, listen, this is the Bengals' fault in a lot of ways. Off-season drama, the T. Higgins, the Jamar Chase, and it's hard not to think, oh, Patriots week 1, Chiefs down the road next week. And it's like they kind of slept on the Patriots, and it looked like it today.
I told you the other day, stop looking at that old playoff game between Kansas City and Bengals. They have to prove it, and it's been a tough couple, even last year. Tough start. Now we're right back at the same thing. Right. I don't know how to get out of this.
Yeah, Jamar Chase targeted just 6 times on the day as well. All right, it's time for the DraftKings Sportsbook 3 play. Matthew Berry, who do you have?
Thanks, Maria. One of my favorite players in the NFL is Cooper Kupp. And when he's healthy, he is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. He's healthy, and this line does not reflect that. This is way too low for a guy that's going to be targeted early and often by Matthew Stafford in a game in which I expect the Rams to be down and throwing quite a bit. Give me the over 67.5 receiving yards for Cooper Kupp. Other side of the ball, how about Jared Goff? If you have listened to me, watched me, or even just tolerated me on Fantasy Football Happy Hour at any point during the last 2 years, you know we've talked about Jared Goff and how good he is at home. Last year, he averaged 280 passing yards a game in Ford Field. So I'm taking an all line. He just needs to get to 250 tonight. I think he does that easily. And when he's throwing, who's he throwing to? Of course, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You knew I had to work a way to get my ride or die from last year into this parlay. Get this, right? Last year, Amon-Ra St. Brown cleared at least 80 yards in every single home game except one. I think he does it again tonight. So yeah, give me the Sun God over 80. That's my DraftKings 3 play for tonight. Goff, Kupp, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Guys?
Another guy that you could throw in there is Jameson Williams. They talked about him all training camp. Amon-Ra St. Brown said, I feel sorry for whatever DB has to run with this guy. Simpson, we said it. He was in the Giants joint practice flying by people.
He can fly. He can. He is going to be their deep target off these play action passes.
And don't forget, number 99 is not going to be playing defensive line.
Might have some time tonight.
Give him a little time to throw it that way.
All right, we'll be right back getting you set for week 1 of Sunday Night Football.
All right, here we go, boys. Here we go.
That's the way to start.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
About to get louder than ever been in here.
Detroit, stand up! You waited for this! The Rams are on it!
And you'll be world champs.
Welcome to the sack party.
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
Oh, yeah, Matthew Stafford right back on his old home field, but he's got Aiden Hutchinson waiting to wreck his return. Again, he put up 2 sacks. He was all over the field in that wild card in January,
I
Rob.
love watching him play. He plays with incredible passion. He plays with great energy. And he reminds me of Max Crosby, coach, because he's all over the place. But one of the things that I really like about him, when he's on the sideline, he's constantly encouraging and talking and communicating with his teammates.
And for the Rams defense, Jack, the story is for the first time, no Aaron Donald. Where's the pressure going to come from? They drafted Jared Verse #1, but no one guy is going to replace Aaron Rodney. They've got to get a multitude of guys contributing.
Aaron Donald is the greatest defensive player that I've ever watched play in my generation. But when you look at their defensive line, they've gotten deeper, they've gotten cheaper. Now the Rams can use that money and allocate it in different spots. But he will be missed. But this will be a strength of the Rams.
And eventually they'll get that pressure. This is a great offensive line. New defensive coordinator Chris Shula might have to dial up more blitzes tonight than they've been used to.
Bring that safety down, because with that big physical offensive line, the Lions will try to establish the line of scrimmage, Jack.
I'm betting on Sean McVay and company to figure things out without Aaron Donald, and Sean McVay entering year 8, one of the brightest leaders in the NFL, and Jason Garrett. He put that McVay mind to the test. Here's how it went.
Can we put you on the spot for a second?
Absolutely.
You want to play the memory game?
I don't know if I do or not.
You're the offensive coordinator in Washington.
Oh, geez.
2016, big win over the Packers on Sunday Night Football. Who led Washington in scrimmage yards that game?
Pierre Garçon had a big night. He had a long touchdown, but it had to probably be Jamison Crowder that night.
Rob Kelly.
Rob Kelly did. Scrimmage yards? Yeah, okay.
We're in Sunday Night Football again. 2021 season opener. Stafford becomes the first player since John Stouffer with the 68 Bengals to do what?
Well, I don't know what the stat would be to have his highest quarterback rating that he had in his career, to throw a touchdown on the 3rd play of his career as a Ram to Van Jefferson. I'm not sure exactly where we're going with this, but we ended up winning against the Bears in a big game.
He had 2 touchdown passes over 50 yards.
Yes.
The longest play from scrimmage in the Super Bowl.
When we played in it?
Yeah.
That was probably Odell Beckham's 3rd down and 10 catch, 35 yards. Yeah.
The legend.
Yeah. How many yards did Rob Kelly have? That one's going to piss me off, man. I want to know what Pierre Garçon and Jamison Crowder's stat line that game was.
Jason, I like you as a game show host.
How about that?
You
Pretty good. Like a young Alex Trebek, huh?
That might be a little too far.
But you learned a lot being with Sean McVay.
I did. I spent the day with them in the spring. It's a football culture. It's a football environment. I sat in all the meetings. I'm in the receiver meeting. Eric Yarber, the receiver coach, one of the best in the NFL. But the guy who's standing up coaching the team as much as anybody else, Cooper Kupp. He's walking up. He's replaying films. He's going over to guys. Puka Nacua, his eyes are as wide as can be listening to Kupp. The environment's incredible. It's all about ball. They all love it. It's fantastic.
Awesome.
Easy to see why they've been so successful.
Yeah, and
no doubt about that.
And you're going to see that chemistry kind of playing out, hopefully, here in Week 1 on Sunday Night Football. All right, let's get you into some more highlights in the AFC South we go. The Texans and the Colts, just a couple of former top 5 picks. And remember, Stephon Diggs is now with the Texans. Not another toy for C.J. Stroud.
Why not? Why not?
Let's go to the second quarter. Stroud hitting the former Bill.
Diggs, keep him happy. Find him in the red zone. Not a ton of catches, not a lot of yards, but he got in the end zone twice, and that was the first one right there.
Anthony Richardson, remember, just 4 games as a rookie, that shoulder injury, but the shoulder looks kind of good.
Well, you remember, he's still a rookie, but right here, throws a dart in there in the middle of the field, and Dolan does the rest, running by everybody for a nice touchdown right there.
Richardson, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing TD on the day as well. Later in the 4th, on 4th and goal, they're going to go for it. Texans going.
And who are you going to go to? You're going to find Stephon Diggs again, his 2nd touchdown. There's just too many weapons in Houston. Pick whoever you want, C.J. Stroud.
All right, D'Amico Murray, you got to feel good about that one, walking away with that 2-point victory on the road against the Colts. All right, we got the Commanders and Jaden Daniels. He is making his first career start, and it's taking place against the Bucs. Oh,
look at that.
Oh, that's right.
Go ahead, Baker.
We know that.
But, you know, it's Tampa Bay, and today it was Baker's Bay, okay? That's what it was. Mike Evans, big throw down here. Great catch. You know, a little bumping and pushing there, but he's big and strong. Baker Mayfield was phenomenal today throughout the game. Made a lot of big throws for them. And again, he finds his other best buddy, Chris Godwin right here. Touchdown. They never look back.
4 passing touchdowns for Mayfield, 289 yards. He made Kova, his daughter, very, very proud on this day, getting the victory against the Commanders. All right, the Titans taking on the Bears. Caleb Williams, the #1 overall pick. Welcome to the league, sir. It would be a rocky start, okay? This one was not his fault.
It was rocky all day long. You're looking for Keenan Allen down in the red zone. Allen gets the separation. Caleb puts it on him, but they can't finish it.
Yeah, they were down 17-3 early in this one. Go to the second half. This is when they make their big comeback. Let's call on the defense and the special teams.
Yeah, it was not about their offense. 150 yards on offense, but the special teams showed up. Block punt. Simone Biles got to be doing some backflip after this one. Her husband running it in.
Yeah, Jonathan Owens, J.O. almost gave Simone Biles a heart attack, as she says right there, but he returns it. And how about this? The Bears on their way to scoring 24 unanswered points in this one. To the fourth quarter we go, and Will Levis is intercepted.
Just a terrible decision by Levis. You're up 1 in the ball game with 7 and change to go. He's going down. He flips it out there. Tyrone Stevenson makes him pay.
0 offensive touchdowns on the day for Caleb Williams. They still get the win. Here's what he had to say.
You know, the name of the game for today for the offense has just not been on the same page passing-wise. And then, you know, run game, you know, we'll be better. Obviously, you know, it's great to get this first win. You know, we're all excited. We went into the locker room, celebrated. I sat down, enjoyed the moment. And just watching all the guys celebrate, understand that I need to be better, I will be better. And then, you know, just taking in the first win. It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. You get the win despite the fact it's the fewest yards in a win by any team since 2020. It's time now for the Lowe's home team help. Chris, Jason, Caleb Williams, a little out of rhythm today.
Yeah, out of rhythm to say the least. I think that's a compliment. They were sloppy as can be, and a ton of just misses by Caleb Williams throughout the early part of this ball game. They had no rhythm. They were out of sync the whole time. He didn't look comfortable. He missed some big throws early on in this game.
This is a big throw right here, right down the left sideline. You go, oh man, this is a walk-in touchdown to Keenan Allen. Doesn't get it. Batted balls around the line of scrimmage, right, Jason? That was an issue throughout the day as well.
They couldn't find any plays they could get to in the passing game and all. And then he finds out that it's a little bit different than college. All these guys in the NFL can run. They chased him down. Not a lot of positive plays for 18.
Right. I think he tried to make a little too much magic happen. The thing I think they got to change a little bit in the next game, be a little more aggressive in early downs. A lot of running the ball early, and then third down, hey, let's throw it to Caleb. That's got to change, Maria.
It's the hardest rhythm there is in football. Give them some chances to get some easy completions on early downs. No doubt about that.
All right, well, week 2, Caleb Williams and the Bears, they get the Texans. That'll be on Sunday Night Football. And if you take a look at what the skill positions did for the Texans, I don't know. I'd be a little fearful going into it. But Joe Mixon had a chance to speak with Mike Florio on his big day.
Yeah, it's year number 8 for Joe Mixon. I said, you're a little bit too old for having 33 touches and 159 total rushing yards. He said, I'm just reaching my prime. Now, he'd been traded by the Bengals to the Texans after the Bengals were actually going to release him in the offseason. I asked him, would you like to play the Bengals this year? They're not on the schedule. He said, no, I don't. I just want to leave them where they're at, just like where they left me, Maria.
Talking spicy. I like that.
Yes. But he was burdened today in the run game for sure. 159 yards rushing for Mixon.
You know who thought he was in his prime? Nick Cross and Julian Blackman, the safeties for the Colts. 27 combined tackles. When your safeties have that many tackles, it's a long day. Yeah, you don't want to have those kind of problems. But C.J. Stroud, pick your poison. Whoever you want to go to. I mean, it's unstoppable right now.
Yeah, certainly impressive. Nico Collins, remember, he's coming back. And Stephon Diggs planted. You said keep him happy.
Yes,
you think he's happy after this one?
He looks happy out there. He looks happy.
All right, we got a couple of highlights still left on the board, including the Cowboys as they opened up. Dak got paid, and I think it paid off, okay, in week 1. We're going to get you the highlights. That's coming up next.
Welcome to the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff.
The city of Detroit, the passion, one team, one pride.
Everyone grew up with the 3-1-3. And the grit, that's what we do here. We get it.
We got the talent. Can we really take this to the next step?
It really feels special this year.
I don't see bust. I see Super Bowl.
But how I feel right now, this is for the city. This is for Detroit. They deserve this.
Grit, baby, representing Detroit.
This city is so ready to explode for this football team.
Celebrate, boys. Celebrate.
What they've done and how they come together, we have a lot to look forward to with this team.
Pick up the Lions. Derek Carr. Oh, baby. Stand up, Ford Field. Look at this.
This city's going to light up. This city is going to just light up.
This is just the beginning, boys.
Man, it's game on. Let's go, baby. Time to get up, boot up, time to go to work.
We've been here since yesterday. Benet Sewell knows that this city is ready to explode, Coach.
Jack, I grew up here. I've been a Lions fan for 67 years. I've never seen it like this before. I talked to Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson on the sideline. They said the same thing, Rod. The energy is just electric.
But, Coach, one of the things that I noticed on the field is there's the Rams starting running back, Kyron Williams, back there catching punts. There's no way I'm going to allow my starting running back there catching punts. I think they should find someone else.
How about for Jameson Williams, Coach? The potential, we know it. It's massive. Could this be his night?
I talked to Lions coaches, and they said he's had a great camp. They're looking forward to it, but they also told me no Aaron Donald tonight for the Rams. Also, no Ernest Jones, last year's starting middle linebacker. So look for them to pound the ball first and then get it to Jameson Williams.
They also told me that Williams will be an integral part of this offense. He's going to obviously take some shots, but also they said he gained 5 pounds, so he's come back into camp. He's stronger. He's more confident.
So not a skinny guy now. He gained 5 pounds.
2 for 2 on Hot Rod. And that was on the field presented by Hyundai. And while we're on the field, we can tell you they are booing Matthew Stafford right now. He makes his second homecoming.
He did some great things for you guys.
For different results, Maria Taylor.
All right, thank you, Jack. And it is time to head to Atlanta as we get you caught up on all the games happening today. The Falcons wearing Appalachia High School T-shirts during warm-ups to remember the victims of the shooting that occurred there on Wednesday. They also had a moment of silence. Justin Fields actually grew up in Atlanta, but he's starting in place of Russell Wilson. He's out with the calf. He would have 156 passing yards, but it didn't really matter who was under center in this.
No, it did not. It was Pittsburgh, Blitzburgh defense all day long. Pittsburgh played in the preseason. They looked like a team that played in the preseason. They were the more physical team on the field today against the Falcons.
Hey, Mike Tomlin's out here giving out kisses.
Oh, you know, when the defense is like this, he's going to give out lots of kisses. And then this was a great acquisition in the offseason. Dante Jackson got him from the Carolina Panthers. He gets the big pick late in the game that really put Atlanta in a tough spot.
TJ Watt had a couple of sacks erased by penalties, so this was only fitting.
It was. He's unreal. I mean, it's just that you watch the Steelers and you just go, I mean, how many plays is he going to make today? TJ Watt, great game.
Yeah, it was a walk-off sack, 2 tackles for loss, a fumble recovery, and Mike Florio had a chance to catch up with him after the game.
Well, he told me that there were so many Steelers fans at that game today that the Falcons had to switch to a silent count early, and he said that is a huge advantage for a defense. Here's another advantage. Film study. TJ Watt said he found what he called a golden nugget studying film that gave him perfect timing to get a sack, to force a fumble. The problem was it was too perfect. He was called for offside and he wasn't happy about it. He said the official told him at halftime he might have made a mistake on that one. And one last thing. At this point in his career, TJ Watt said he's only motivated by winning, not individual awards, not the fact that he fell to number 30 in the 2017 draft. And he told me, Coach Garrett, when the phone rang and the Steelers picked him 7 years ago, he thought it was you.
We should have taken him, Florio.
Oh, but wait, in the screening room, who was like TJ Watt, TJ Watt,
Oh my
TJ
God.
Watt the entire time?
He's the most impactful defensive player there is in the National Football League, bar none. I love the guy.
Yeah,
You still want him.
I know. I still want him.
I know, he still wants him. If he could pick him right now, he would. He'd bring him in the studio. I know. Devin would be gone with his box somewhere else. All right, let's roll through another highlight. We have Dallas taking on Cleveland. They're on the road. And how about it? We got Tom Brady.
There he is.
Come on, Tom, you're okay.
Dak Prescott, he's hours after agreeing to that 4-year deal. He's the highest paid player in NFL history, and he's showing and playing just like it.
Jim Schwartz, you can't do this. Cover 0, no help. He's going to see it. He's going to eat it up. Excellent anticipation by Dak. Great throw. Heck of a finish for the Cowboys.
Yeah, later in the first, Micah Parsons just going to pick up where he left off last season.
They were all over Deshaun Watson. The sack there by Micah Parsons. Lawrence had 2 sacks. They had 9 QB hits on the day. Unstoppable up front.
They have dominant on offense, dominant on defense, and don't kick it to this guy. Cavante Turpin, the best in the National Football League at this. The Cowboys bludgeon the Browns at their place.
Yeah, that was a 60-yard touchdown run. Dallas, they get the victory. And you can see Dak Prescott, he's coming off the best statistical year that he's ever had. And all he did was improve. And now we have a time for an all-state check-in. Chris Sims, Dak, CD, they got paid, and they look good.
That's right. You want your stars to play the best in the biggest games. It's the Cleveland Browns. They're one of the best defenses in football. We know that. And Jerry Jones got return on investment today. That's right. How about them Cowboys, okay? Dak Prescott over the middle. CeeDee Lamb looks like he's been practicing all year long. He looked great today. Tough catch over the middle. Hey, one-on-one on the outside, and just throw it to me, Dak. Great job using his body. Great catch, great throw by Dak Prescott. And the thing I love is they just said, hey, he's our guy. We're featuring him. We don't care. He's only been here for a few weeks. Give him the little reverse end around there. Great job by Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb. Way to go, Cowboys.
All right, that was the all-state check-in. And I got to ask you, Jason, because you coached Dak, what was your reaction to hearing that he finally got the deal done? And it was really like hours before the game.
I am so happy for him. He represents everything you want in a football player, leader of your football team. There's a lot of distraction in Dallas. Okay, there has been for a long, long time. And he's amazing. He stands up there at the podium and just handles all that stuff the right way. You talk about leadership. His is the best that there is. And the guys around him, they love to play for him. Again, on display today in Cleveland.
Yeah, if you're out there and you keep talking about his playoff games and
enough.
Forget all of that. The guy is an amazing quarterback. He continues to do it. And what I liked about today was Sims said it in the screening room. He loved the plan by Dallas, getting the ball to CeeDee Lamb, the different running plays of Ezekiel Elliott. They just got everybody involved, and they took off from the beginning going right at Cleveland.
And they neutralized Myles Garrett, one of the best defensive players in the National Football League, with that plan. But back to Dak, he just plays the game at a high level. I hear these clowns on TV say he's overrated, he's not in the top 10. Watch the game. Yeah. He's an incredible football player, great leader for that team.
We are not the clowns on TV.
Yeah, that's not us. We got to give some love to that Dallas defense, too. Zimmer comes in. He says he wants everybody to remember he was a good coach, and they caused havoc with Deshaun Watson and that Cleveland offense.
They had 6 sacks and 2 interceptions. And how about Deshaun Watson? And still kind of struggling to get it going offensively.
He has to find his way to get in rhythm. No preseason games. Hasn't played a snap since week 10 of last year. This was the first snaps, so he has to get back in rhythm.
It's going to be critical for them to run the football. Yeah. Take some pressure off of him. Get some movement, some play action, some nakeds off of the running game. If he feels the burden, he's not going to be ready to play at a high level.
All right, guys, it is time for Barry's Bet, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Matthew?
Hey, listen. Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Cooper Kupp. So many big names in this game, so of course I'm going with Khalif Raymond. Yeah, you heard me, the 3rd wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. He's going to be out there a lot in a game that I expect, again, Jared Goff to be throwing a lot. I think this line is too low, 19.5. He had at least 20 receiving yards in 11 different games last year when his role was actually smaller. So yeah, give me the over on 19.5 receiving yards for the 3rd wide receiver for the Lions, Khalif Raymond. That is my best bet tonight.
Hey, Barry reaching in the bag tonight, Barry.
DraftKings Sportsbook is the #1 place to bet touchdowns. And new customers can bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Download the app and use promo code SNF when you sign up.
Cooper Kupp getting set to start his 8th season, and you heard Jason say it. He's been a leader. He's a leader in the locker room, leader in the film room. We'll see if he'll be a leader on the field. The Lions superstar wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, coming off an all-pro season. He got paid this spring and caught up with Rodney earlier.
When you look around and you see all these fans in these stands supporting, yelling, and screaming, what does that do for this team?
Man, the city is the best city in the world. The fans, best fans in the world. We couldn't do it without them, man. Out here early, before kickoff, 2 hours before. They're the energy, they're the spark plug for us. We're going to need them today, but they're the best, man.
You had a great game in the playoffs. What is your message? What was your message this week to the wide receivers?
Man, we just got to stay hungry. We know how last year ended. It wasn't the way we wanted to end, but we got a new start, fresh start this year. We control our own outcome, our own destiny. 1 week at a time. This is week 1. We got to take care of it.
Last question. What's up with that drop in warm-ups, man? And Randall told me to mention that to you. He said you get so frustrated when you drop the ball.
It ain't gonna happen in the game, so I'd rather get it out in warm-ups than in the game. So that's but no, I can't have the drops.
All the best to you. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Leave it to Rodney to ask the receiver about a drop right before the game starts. We love you, Hot
And you know Rodney wouldn't like that if somebody did it to him, but he does it anyway.
Yeah, but asking the hard-hitting questions. All right, it is time for Sunday Fun Day. Grab your mimosa and let's talk about what we enjoyed seeing already today. And we start with the Bears because we had the Owens touchdown. Take a listen to the radio call.
On the ground, picked up to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone with a touchdown on the block punt by the Bears. Jonathan Owens, welcome to Chicago. The first touchdown of the year comes by way of special teams. I don't want to say that was a gold medal play. But that was a gold medal play.
Then it was an Olympic special day because that defense down 17-zip, and they scored 24 straight points. Chicago, they won the game without an offensive touchdown. Stevenson takes it, picks it. Yeah, it was true old school Bears. Shout out the Bears, finding ways to win. We don't need offense in this league.
Mayhem. Midway, you get the victory. We'll see you week 2 on Sunday Night Football. What about Superman? Who has got that?
I beg to differ. They do need offense in this league.
Look at this guy.
Here, he is unreal. Jason Garrett said it a million times. It's a quarterback league, and Buffalo's got that guy.
And kickers are people too.
Kickers are people too. Chris Boswell, 6 for 6. 3 of them over 50 yards. It was about defense, special teams. The guy punts. What doesn't this guy do? A big day for Boswell down there in Atlanta.
4-3, no offense, no quarterback. I'm just saying.
You're right, that's the game.
A Steelers win, too. Right? Like, Steelers win. Okay, listen, the best thing that happened to a Cincinnati Bengal all day was Joey Chestnut eating 5 Bengals fans in a bratwurst eating contest.
Well, I would expect him to beat the fans for sure. Anything that he's doing is gross. Okay?
Kobayashi was not there, though. No Kobayashi.
18 bratwursts in 3 minutes. We're going to try it in the screening room. I'll keep you posted. It's time now for tonight's home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. America is going with the Detroit Lions. And I think that, are most of us doing the same? Are we on the same page?
I am
well,
sure.
America's
We're about to...
Oh, no! This is not a good thing.
This is a terrible thing.
Maria, you're supposed to take one for the team.
All the screenshots are right there.
That's on me, but I'm already 1-1. I ain't taking nothing for the team. Do you understand what I'm saying?
We're in the standings. Why aren't the standings up there?
We're not going to talk about it. All right, Hot Rod, Tony, what do you think this game's going to come down to?
Well, I was told by the Rams coaches that the Lions have a lot of different weapons, but the biggest and the most dangerous weapon is Sam Laporta, and they have a special package for him.
And on the Rams side, Matthew Stafford in the playoff game threw for over 350 yards. It's a totally new secondary, and the defensive coordinator for the Lions, Aaron Glenn, told us those guys are ready, but I think Stafford's going to test the new guys tonight.
Coach, I think another storyline would be just the big physical offensive line of the Detroit Lions against this smaller, quicker, more athletic defensive front of the Rams.
And this noise in the crowd is awesome out here, Maria.
We know you guys can barely hear yourselves think, but if the Rams do get a win and prove us wrong and they get us on social media, what happens?
This game is about the red zone. Last year in the playoff game, Detroit 3 for 3, Rams 0 for 3. If that bounces out a little bit, Matthew Stafford's got a shot.
Rodney said it. I worry about the Rams front 7 against this running game of the Lions and then the play action pass off of it.
And I'm looking forward to seeing this Lions secondary come together in a game. Preseason is one thing, practice is one thing. How do you do it against a guy like Stafford?
Stafford, in his 16th season, will lead out the Rams. Those were tonight's home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. All right, what a scene in Detroit for a playoff rematch. We got Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark, right after Carrie Underwood's brand new opener kicks things off.
This has been the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff. Spanish language audio provided by Telemundo Deportes. Or watch tonight's game in Spanish on Universo.